The similarities between Hegel's dialectic and Blavatsky's dialectic by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The exploration of dialectical methods has long been a cornerstone in understanding the evolution of philosophical thought and metaphysical inquiry. Among the most influential figures in this domain are Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, whose dialectic profoundly shaped Western philosophy, and Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, a seminal figure in Theosophy whose dialectical approach offers a distinctive metaphysical framework. While their intellectual contexts differ significantly, Hegel operating within the realm of German idealism and Blavatsky within esoteric spirituality, their dialectical processes reveal striking similarities that merit rigorous comparative analysis. Both thinkers employ a triadic structure to articulate the dynamic progression of ideas or realities, emphasizing synthesis as an essential resolution emerging from conflict or opposition. This shared structural foundation suggests that despite divergent aims and technologies, their dialectics function as mechanisms for reconciling contradictions inherent in human cognition and existence. Furthermore, both Hegel and Blavatsky view dialectics not merely as abstract logical tools, but as ontological principles that underpin reality's unfolding. Hegel's dialectic culminates in the absolute spirit self-realization through historical development, whereas Blavatsky's method interprets cosmic evolution as an interplay of polarities manifesting spiritual truths hidden beneath empirical phenomena. Their approaches also converge on the notion that progress arises through tension between opposing forces, a concept central to understanding transformation at both individual and universal levels. Both Hegel's dialectic and Blavatsky's dialectic employ a triadic structure to explicate the development of ideas and reality, yet they differ in their philosophical underpinnings and applications. Hegel's dialectical method is grounded in idealism, emphasizing the evolution of the absolute spirit through a process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. This triadic movement is not merely logical, but ontological, reflecting the unfolding of reality itself as a rational process. This dialectic serves as a dynamic mechanism by which contradictions are sublated, aufgehoben, preserving elements of opposing concepts while transcending their limitations to achieve higher levels of understanding. In this way, Hegel's method is both systematic and teleological. It posits an inherent directionality towards self-consciousness and freedom. Conversely, Blavatsky's dialectical approach emerges from her esoteric worldview rooted in Theosophy, which integrates Eastern metaphysics with Western occult traditions. Her dialectic similarly involves a triadic progression, often framed as unity, duality, and synthesis, but it operates within a cosmological context that transcends purely intellectual abstraction. For Blavatsky, dialectics describe the cyclical interplay between spirit, the one, matter, the many, and consciousness, their interaction. Unlike Hegel's emphasis on rational development within history or thought itself, Blavatsky situates her dialectic within an eternal cosmic rhythm that governs both macrocosmic processes such as creation and microcosmic human spiritual evolution. A key point of convergence lies in their shared recognition that contradiction is not merely negation, but a productive force essential for progress. Both thinkers reject static dualisms. Instead, they view opposites as interdependent poles whose tension drives transformation. However, whereas Hegel focuses on logical reconciliation through conceptual mediation, where contradictions are resolved into synthesized ideas, Blavatsky underscores metaphysical polarity, where opposites coexist dynamically without necessarily culminating in final synthesis, but rather perpetuating continuous cycles. Furthermore, methodological differences emerge regarding epistemology. Hegelian dialectics privilege reason as the instrument for discerning truth through historical unfolding. Blavatsky's approach privileges intuitive insight alongside reason, incorporating mystical knowledge that transcends empirical verification. This divergence reflects broader contrasts between Western philosophical rationalism and Eastern-influenced esotericism. In summary, while both Hegelian and Blavatskyan dialectics share structural similarities, most notably in their triadic schema, and acknowledge contradiction as generative tension driving development, they diverge significantly in scope and orientation. One orientated towards rational self-realization within history, the other towards cosmic spiritual cycles beyond conventional temporality. This comparative analysis reveals how each method adapts the concept of dialectic to distinct metaphysical frameworks, while maintaining core principles that underscore their philosophical kinship. Both Hegel's dialectic and Blavatsky's dialectic reveal a profound engagement with the dynamic processes underlying reality, emphasizing transformation through contradiction and synthesis. Their methods, while emerging from distinct intellectual traditions, German idealism and Theosophical mysticism, converge in their shared commitment to understanding development as an inherently dialectical movement. Hegel's triadic structure of thesis, antithesis and synthesis finds a parallel in Blavatsky's esoteric interpretation of cosmic evolution, where opposing forces interact to produce higher states of consciousness or being. This comparative analysis underscores how both thinkers conceive dialectic not merely as a logical tool, but at a metaphysical principle governing change at multiple levels. Furthermore, both approaches reject static or linear conceptions of reality in favour of fluidity and interdependence. Hegel's dialectic is grounded in rational progression toward absolute knowledge, whereas Blavatsky situates her dialectic within spiritual hierarchies and cyclical timeframes. Despite these contextual differences, their frameworks share an emphasis on conflict as generative rather than destructive, a necessary tension that propels advancement toward unity or wholeness. This reveals a common philosophical insight. Progress arises through the reconciliation of opposites. Ultimately, recognizing these similarities enriches our understanding of dialectical thought beyond conventional philosophical boundaries, by highlighting its adaptability across diverse epistemological domains. The convergence between Hegelian logic and Blavatskyan mysticism invites further interdisciplinary dialogue about the nature of synthesis and transformation in human cognition and cosmology. Such exploration affirms the enduring relevance of dialectics as a vital mode for interpreting complex phenomena in both philosophy and spirituality.